The Mario series is no stranger to spin-offs, and in the first entry of one of its longest-lasting series, Mario Party, Hudson Soft propelled Mario and friends into uncharted territory in winter of 1998 going into 1999. This series' defining characteristics were birthed from this initial installment and have been continuously built upon ever since. It is quite evident, though, that they did not get things perfect on the first attempt, as is clear through the way the game is balanced. Being a party game, Mario Party does not offer much in the way of its story. Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Wario, and Donkey Kong are all gathered around debating what it means to be a superstar. With an opinion outside of the discussion comes Toad, who wants to help them come to the conclusion of who is most qualified to become a superstar. In Toad's eyes, a superstar is someone who is able to display strength, wisdom, courage, and kindness. Toad suggests that the group take a trip to Mushroom Village and set out onto adventure, and whoever excels can be crowned the superstar. The group race over to a pipe that will lead them to Mushroom Village, and that's all the setup that is given. This is presumably set up in a way that is meant to imply that the story is told by the individual player, their opponents, and their time spent in various game modes that are offered. Thus, the story of who is to become the superstar can be told countless ways from countless perspectives. The true extent of what Mario Party has to offer is in its game modes, which are largely inspired by tabletop board games. The primary game mode in Mario Party, known as Party Mode, has 4 players setting out onto one of the game's 8 boards. These boards are themed after the main cast and Bowser, each featuring their own unique board events. The boards are traversed by one player at a time by rolling a die and advancing that number of spaces. Each space a player can land on will have some effect on the game, such as affecting their coin count, altering the board, and even prevent them from being able to perform their next turn. While selecting a board, players can also determine the number of turns played. Stars are the primary collectible that determines who is the superstar once the final turn has been played. 3 bonus stars are awarded once all turns are concluded and can also be bought using coins. Coins can be collected in a number of different ways, from landing on a blue space on the board, stealing them from opponents with the aid of a boo, and from what Mario Party is most well known for, its minigames. Once all 4 players have rolled, a minigame will be selected for players to battle it out for more coins. There are 3 main minigame types. What type of minigame is played is determined by the color of the space the player lands on the board. If all 4 players land on the same color, it's a free-for-all. If one lands on one color while the other 3 land on another, it's a 1 versus 3, and if the colors are split, it's a 2 versus 2. There are 50 minigames total playable in Party Mode, each with their own objectives, and whoever wins is awarded 10 coins. There are also coin collecting minigames where all players are given a chance to collect as many coins as appear in the minigame. Once all turns have concluded and a winner has been crowned, all the coins collected can be used in the Mushroom Shop to buy items that affect the gameplay of boards in various ways, such as dice that will give or take away as many coins as the number rolled, and a mecha fly guy that will be stored in the minigame house to test analog stick rotation speed. The minigame house is also home to a few different game modes. There's a free play mode where players can buy and play minigames they've discovered in Party Mode, and Minigame Stadium, a coin collecting marathon board where stars are not present and spaces on the board only affect what minigames are chosen. Finally, there's Minigame Island, which is a single player mode where the 50 playable minigames in Party Mode are laid out as individual levels in worlds. Playing through boards in Mario Party is as fun as any tabletop board game, but the minigames are where the fun shines brightest. Although there are many minigames where skill is required and competition is fierce, others can feel like an unfair beating. This is felt hardest in the 1 versus 3 minigames, where a number of them have the losing side losing coins as punishment. There are also a number of single-player minigames that can be triggered by landing on special spaces on a board. While they are typically a great way to stock up on coins, it can severely slow down the pace of the game if too many are played. Having previously worked on the soundtrack for Chrono Trigger and going on to do the soundtrack for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Yasunori Mitsuda creates some unforgettable compositions for Mario Party. Every track feels as though it fits the setting perfectly, even with tracks like ducking and dodging that are used in multiple minigames. Tracks that are used exclusively while on a board, such as Eternal Star, carry great weight and turn what is, at its base, a board game into a very exciting experience. As is shown on the website The Cutting Room Floor, Mario Party had a few additional minigames that were not included in the final version of the game. One of these is a minigame called Same Game, which is a single-player minigame where the player has to ground pound various colored blobs to reveal different tiers of coin rewards. Mario Party is a package with countless hours of fun inside. Although the titles that succeed it have quality of life improvements that positively affect the experience for a wider audience, this version should not be avoided. Nostalgia informs a lot how I feel about this game, but even acknowledging its very obvious flaws, I look forward to playing it every chance I get.